In 2010, somebody used a computer worm to physically destroy 1,000 machines. And the scary thing is, the operators had no idea it was happening. So Stuxnet, if you haven't heard of it, this is one of the most important things that ever happened in industrial automation. And most engineers I speak to have never known the full story. Iran was enriching uranium at a facility called Natanz. The centrifuges there were controlled by Siemens PLCs running Step 7 software connected to a SCADA system, standard industrial kit, and the whole facility was air-gapped, so completely disconnected from the internet. So in theory, untouchable. Except someone, and it's widely believed it was a joint operation between the US and Israel, managed to get a worm onto a USB stick or computer and physically carried it into the building, possibly through an agent, possibly through an unwitting worker. Either way, the worm got into a Windows machine, found the Siemens software, and worked its way into the PLCs controlling the centrifuges. And here was the clever bit: it didn't just crash them, it changed the speed of the centrifuge. So it ramped them up, it slowed them down, and it stressed them until they tore themselves apart. And while it was doing this, it was sending fake data back to the operators, so everyone watching the SCADA screens thought everything was normal. Normal readings, normal speeds. Meanwhile, the centrifuges were shaking themselves to bits. By the time anyone worked out what was happening, they had lost roughly a fifth of their centrifuges, and it set their entire program back years. Now, why am I telling you this on a TikTok about my machine monitoring system? Because Stuxnet is the reason why people get nervous about connecting their machines to anything, and rightly so. If someone can get into your control system, they can do damage, real physical damage. But here's what people get wrong. They think that the answer is to keep everything locked away, air-gapped, isolated, and Stuxnet proved that that doesn't work either. An air-gap didn't save Natanz. A USB stick probably walked straight through it. So the question isn't whether you connect your machines, it's how you do it securely. And that's exactly what I've built RoboVigil to do. So first, it's read-only. It monitors, it watches, it can't send commands back to the machine. There's no pipe going the other way. So even a worst case scenario, nobody's using RoboVigil to interfere with your equipment. The attack surface simply isn't there. Second, all the data is encrypted using WireGuard. If you haven't come across it, WireGuard is considered best in class for VPNs. It's built on a modern cryptography, and it's been incorporated into the Linux kernel. And it's only about 4,000 lines of code. Compare that to the older VPN protocols, which run to hundreds of thousands of lines. Fewer lines of code means fewer places for vulnerabilities to hide, a smaller attack surface again. So third, the camera feeds. Your RTSP camera streams, which we have, don't go through anyone else's servers. They stay in the encrypted VPN tunnel, secured all the way from your factory floor to your phone. Nobody else sees them, nobody else touches them. And this is the argument I keep making. A simple, purpose-built, cloud-connected system with a tiny attack surface is arguably more secure than a big, complex, on-prem SCADA setup with USB ports, Windows machines, and engineers plugging things in, because complexity is where the vulnerabilities live. And Stuxnet proved that. So keep it simple, keep it read-only, keep it encrypted, and let the machines talk to your phone safely. So if a USB stick can take out 1,000 centrifuges, the answer isn't to disconnect everything. It's to connect securely.